we're going to give y'all a prediction of Crown Jewel. So we're going to break down Crown Jewel before this Saturday. But before we even get into that, I actually have a trending topic for you, John. Now, I just read this kind of like an article about this going into Crown Jewel just recently, actually right before we started this pod. And it's talking about basically Crown Jewel being held is basically concerning Crown Jewel being held in Saudi Arabia with a possible Iran attack in the near future. So basically, the report was basically saying that Saudi Arabia is kind of a little concerned because they're expecting an attack from Iran in the future. But yet, the WWE is about to go out there, and film Crown Jewel. So it's been sparking up a little bit of a concern, but tell me your thoughts on that.
Well, like most things when it comes to security, people always like to blow things out of proportion because we probably where they're going to be filming, they're probably where they're going to be filming. It's probably going to be nowhere near the action. So if they're going over there, it's guaranteed their safety. You know what I'm saying? For all we know, this is probably at the border or probably somewhere else. They ain't got nothing to do with them. But if it is in case, hey, man, they got to protect everybody at all costs. Hey, man, if you got to move the show somewhere else, let it be.
Yeah, if it was me and I was running the WWE, I don't know if I'm taking that chance right now. Just because it is such a big event. If there was any time to try to make a statement, and in war, statements are made like that. If there's a time where you got a collective of people that are gathered together, a lot of people, it's at a Crown Jewel event. So if I was a WWE, I would probably be like, you know what? Let's not take that chance. Let's just go ahead and
hey man, it's a big place out there, man. I'm just saying. Y'all be making it try to sound like this is like, Rhode Island or something. That's a big place, dog. Like I said, all the action might be happening all the way on the south side, man.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't never been to Saudi Arabia, so I don't even know how it's mapped out. But I'm like, just the threats alone of possible attack, I'm like, yeah,
it was crazy. I had some family members go out to Dubai. It's a nice place, man. We should go sometime.
Oh man, shoot, that ain't man. We just gotta plan that out. I'm trying to go to Dubai. I'm trying to go to WrestleMania in Hollywood. I'm trying to go freaking out the country.
We could be at the next Crown Jewel, man. I'm just saying.
I don't know if I'm going out there though. That's the whole point.
Hey man, I said the same thing, but it was a good time, man. Shoot.
But I'm saying, like, in the midst of these conversations right now, I don't know if I'm trying to risk my situation, my life. I don't even think the WWE should be going out there right now.
I mean, the same thing can be said about a lot of things in this country, but I'm gonna hit you like this though. When some people wake up every day and they go to McDonald's to eat that dang cheeseburger, it could kill you, but you do it anyway.
You talking to the man that do not go to McDonald's and eat that cheeseburger.
I'm just saying that's a lot of Americans out there. I'm just saying. Oh. I mean, you go outside and you get in your car, you know what I'm saying? Might get hit by a pebble the wrong way, but you do it anyway.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going out there, man. I don't know, but maybe I'll go out to Japan. I'll go to Japan. I'll go to South Korea. Saudi Arabia, that's probably down the line, man.
You saying if King Jong-un was out there like, hey man, I want Scorpion to show up and go wrestle. You doing it?
In North Korea?
Yeah. He's a big fan. And on top of it, he's a fan of American basketball too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that one. I'm not gonna just upright and say no, but I'm gonna need to think about that one because
I mean, shoot, how many zeros he throwing out there? Shoot, man, easiest paycheck I ever made.
He could throw out them zeros, but I gotta know what I'm risking. I gotta know what I'm risking going out there. Like,
I mean, hey, Dennis Rodman came back fine.
Man, that's Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman, I don't even know how Dennis Rodman and Kim Jong-un. Matter of fact, that's a whole nother podcast, a whole nother world. I don't even know how they even got cool, but let's stick to the point. Let's break down Crown Jewel now. Let's get back into Crown Jewel because I'm like, I don't even know how that relationship developed, but hey, I'm going to just let that be.
I'll just throw it out there though. He is a big '90s Bulls fan.
It makes sense. Makes sense. That's why fan of Dennis Rodman. That's why they cool probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I'm not gonna say I would. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't. You know, I'm just trying to. I'm over here. I'm trying to talk Crown Jewel. Let's go into Crown Jewel. First match, the main event. Tell me your predictions on Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, which is also an Extreme Rules match.
Call me crazy, but I'm going for the upset on Logan Paul.
What?
I'm going for the upset. The tribal chief may be dethroned by Logan Paul. Imagine the media circus if it happens.
What?
Imagine the eyes that are going to be put on wrestling. Imagine the chaos that'll happen.
What?
Just saying, man. This ain't going to be no ordinary squash match, man. It's going to be a back and forth.
I don't think this is going to be a squash match. They're going to make Logan Paul look pretty decent, I think. It ain't no way in a million years Logan Paul is walking out of Saudi Arabia, walking out of Crown Jewel, the new undisputed Universal Champion. It ain't happening. Roman is at the top of his game. You know what's crazy? Roman Reigns may be a babyface now. I don't even know if fans ain't really booing him at this moment. I'm not sure if you have you been seeing these bloodline skits with freaking honorary Uce with Sami Zayn. People ain't really booing the bloodline like that now. It don't seem like it.
Well, to me, Roman has the John Cena effect where he has a big vocal group of people that are going to cheer him regardless of whether he's the bad guy, the good guy, whether he's winning or losing there, he's going to have his fans. And I think a lot of people or a lot of fans have kind of like caught on to where they're going to cheer you regardless of whether you're the bad guy or not. You feel me?
And that's what I've been hoping for. Like, if I just think about all these years when Vince was trying to push Roman as a babyface, and to me, it always made sense in the history. When you think about wrestling history, most people, when you turn them heel and they're so good as heels, we start to cheer them. We like, man, he's so good at being the bad guy that I'm like, it's hard for me to just boo him now. Now I'm just a fan. So it's like Roman should have been turned heel, but that's besides the point.
Hey, man, it took him 6 years to make one good decision. God dang, man.
And then now he's the top guy in the company, and he's actually being cheered. Like, for a second, let's jump into the other conversation when you talked about the topic we want to bring up. Is the bloodline getting stale? Like, let me start off with this since we're already talking about Roman Reigns. I don't feel like they're getting stale to me, because as time goes on, they're actually, Roman seems like he's getting more and more comfortable with like the comedic aspect of, you know, performing. Like, especially being with freaking Paul Heyman, being with Sami Zayn, the Usos, like them all being together, it's starting to like they're finding moments to actually perform and give us comedy as well. So I'm like, to me, it's not getting stale. They're still dominant champions. They're still putting on great matches, and now they're actually making us laugh. But tell me your thoughts. Is the bloodline getting stale to you?
Well, I've talked to a lot of people on the matter, and I've talked to a lot of clowns on the internet wrestling communities and stuff like that. I will say it like this. From my perspective, no, it's not. I think it's actually quite interesting to have a really dominant heel be your champion for this long. And I also think it's quite interesting because we've been getting more creative matches, and we're getting more interesting character development, and I tune in every time I get the chance to, man. Because like, let's look at it like this: Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan, still one of my favorite matches at WrestleMania. On top of that, we got Brock Lesnar with the trailer track there. out there at SummerSlam. I'm like, this is getting good. It's getting really good. I
Mm-hmm.
think what it is that people get bored with greatness. It happens. You saw it happen with Tom Brady. You saw it happen with Michael Jordan. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna love you, then they're gonna hate you real quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the bloodline, I would like to see this go on for 1,000 days, man.
To
We're
me,
two we're 200 days away.
yeah, to me, I don't think Roman should lose the championship unless it's to either Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. But even with that now, I'm like, I don't even think that's necessary. Like, of course, if they face each other at WrestleMania, it probably will happen. But to me, I don't even find that necessary no more because Roman is that good to me now. I'm like, he's that good. Like, and
Yeah.
the bloodline is that good. Like, you got freaking Paul Heyman, one of the greatest minds in wrestling, probably the greatest manager of all time. If Roman is not with the Usos, if he's not with Sami Zayn, he's with Paul, then even he's by himself, like it's so much you can do. And Roman is like super comfortable on the mic now, cutting great promos. Like, and at this point, he's almost transitioning from heel to babyface. That's what's crazy. So it's like,
Yeah.
um, yeah. To me, I don't see them getting stale, but I can see how people get bored with greatness, like you said,
Well,
like because he's been
yeah.
champion for a long time.
Let me propose this to you though. A group of fans, the IC, the Internet Wrestling Community, they do say it's kind of boring as him for him to be champion for so long because we always know the results of what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of makes you wonder, why do we even have to watch wrestling? Because we all knew going into Clash of the Castle that Drew was going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
We all knew that was going to happen. We all knew that, there was going to be some kind of interference that was going to stop Drew from winning. So do you think they should mix it up and just have Roman be exceedingly dominant, or hey man, we just gotta have more heel tactics like we Shawn Michaels in the '90s?
I think they should have. I think they should go about it. I think they're going about it in the right way. I think they're actually going about it in the right way because let me break it down to you like this. This creates those big moments. So when Roman actually does lose, it puts over the person that beats Roman over the top. It makes them a star if they're not already a star. It makes them a superstar. So like think about this. Floyd Mayweather, we're gonna bring up Floyd. We're gonna talk a little bit of boxing just for a sec. Floyd Mayweather, undefeated. During his last like 6, 7 fights, when he was in the 40s ranges with wins, if somebody would have beat Floyd, it would have boxing would have just went to a whole nother level, and it would have made a new boxing star at that time.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way with Roman Reigns, you don't have Roman lose until the right time on the biggest show, on the biggest platform, against the right upcoming wrestler that can now be your next star or one of your next stars. So you make Roman as dominant as he's been, um, and then when it's time, then you have him lose to whoever's up next. Like, to me, at this point, because I was gonna say like, it Roman being a heel, it would make for the next big baby face. But Roman is almost not just heel anymore, so it's like it could just make someone great, whether they heel or baby face. So I'm like, yeah, you got to keep Roman with the championship as long as possible right now.
My only issue with this is like I feel like something stupid is gonna happen. Like they're gonna let Bray Wyatt take the belt off him, or Braun Strowman. Like there's only like 3 wrestlers I can see beating Roman, and there's only 3 wrestlers I will be okay with seeing Roman lose that belt to, or those belts. So that's like Cody Rhodes, The Rock, and Bobby Lashley.
Mm.
Because I feel like Bobby Lashley, ever since I saw him in TNA, and I saw him in I want to say Bellator or something like that back in the UFC, I realized at that moment like he can be the main guy. Cody Rhodes, we know he can be the main guy because he was the only great thing about AEW for a couple months, and then having The Rock run with the belt and then he can transition it to someone else is also a great idea.
I wish Bobby was still with MVP though. That's the only thing. Like I think Bobby's great alone, but I feel like Bobby I feel like he can be even greater when you put a group around him. Same thing with Roman. I think Roman, what elevated Roman to the greatness that we're seeing right now is they put a group around him. They gave him a top-notch faction, and they gave him a manager. It's like I think they took that away from Bobby too soon. So if Bobby was to beat Roman and become the new undisputed Universal Champion, I would like to see them, bring back the Hurt Business and surround the MVP around that, and MVP, and then his faction. I would like to see that, but I just think Bobby by himself, he's cool, but I feel like there's still a lack of attraction with him by himself at the moment.
You know what's funny is I follow MVP on YouTube, and I also follow him on Twitter. The MVP constantly keeps bringing up the Hurt Business, and Bobby Lashley always chimes in about it. And it's kind of crazy is Shelton Benjamin's not against the idea either. So it may be possible that they will return.
I think they should do it because to me, Bobby does have the presence to be that next champion, but I will put a lot of people. I'll put a few people in front of him. Like I would put obviously Cody Rhodes in front of him to beat Roman. I'll even put Seth Rollins above Bobby Lashley. I'll put The Rock.
I can respect that.
I'll put The Rock.
Mm-hmm. Better not say Bray Wyatt.
And I'll put Goldberg. No, just he just walks off the set. Hey y'all, the People's Podcast with Meech is just Meech. And I will put Goldberg.
I can't believe you even uttered that. Oh my God. Goldberg.
Oh man, I wouldn't put Bray Wyatt. I'm sorry. Bray Wyatt still got more to prove to me. I would put, dare I say it, if CM Punk returned, I'll put CM Punk in that conversation as well to beat Roman. But, that's a whole lot.
Talk the most wild mess ever.
I'm just playing with y'all with the Goldberg thing. I'm not Goldberg shouldn't beat Roman. No. Unless it's at Crown Jewel. No, I'm just playing with you.
Please stop.
Hey, but I do gotta say this. We both were you serious about that Logan Paul pick?
Oh, I'm dead serious.
Oh, okay. So John has Logan Paul winning, and I clearly have Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, it won't be. They will make Logan Paul look good, but he will still get destroyed. I don't see Roman's going to have the whole bloodline there. Speaking of the bloodline, let's go into their match. The Usos. You got the Usos putting on their undisputed tag team championship on the line against the Brawling Brutes. Who you got?
Of course the Usos are going to win. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Brawling Brutes is technically not with Sheamus. It's like it's the two other dudes.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name because I really do like him. He was the NXT UK champion for so many years. Pete Dunne. There we go. Jesus Christ. Anyways, though, so if that's the case, and Sheamus is not a part of that group, that's an easy dub, bro. So we ain't gotta go over that.
So it's Ridge Holland and Butch?
Yeah.
So
Butch, aka Pete Dunne.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Butch, if I'm not mistaken, Butch, Ridge Holland's the one that broke Big E's neck.
I can't remember how everything happened with that one, so that's why I'm like,
it was just bad tech. According to Taz, it was a bad technique. It was just unfortunate.
Got you. I got the Usos too, but I think it's gonna be a great match. I think it has the potential of being match of the night, just because the Brawling Brutes always put on a good match, and the Usos always put on a great match as well. And I just got to say this: the Usos is the greatest tag team of all time, in my opinion. So I got the Usos remaining the greatest tag team and the undisputed tag team champions still. They will take out the Brawling Brutes. The Bloodline will still remain champions, in my opinion. Let us go on to Bianca Belair versus Bayley. It's a last woman standing match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Who you got?
This might be the match where Bailey dethrones Bianca Belair. And I feel like there's going to be some heel tactic to make it to where Bianca can't get up. I have a feeling either handcuffs are going to be involved or they're going to tie her hair to to a ring post or something so she can't get up.
And you see her reign finally coming to an end. This one is actually a tough one because I kind of agree with you. If there was a time to, because Roman is going to remain champion, because I believe the Usos going to remain champion, I think there got to be at least one title change. And this will probably be the title change. So that will kind of shock people with Bailey. And then you have Damage Control come out and they already took a beat in last pay-per-view where freaking Bianca Belair looked like John Cena and she took out the whole group. This is
Super
now,
Cena.
yeah. So now this is a time where it's like the last woman standing. They can obviously interfere. Damage Control I'm speaking of. You know what? My mind is saying Bianca Belair, but I'm gonna say Bailey. I'm gonna say Bailey wins as well. I'm gonna agree with you on this one. I'm gonna say Bailey becomes the new Raw Women's Champion. And yeah, I think they just make that change. I think they make that change, and then maybe down the line or next year, Bianca Belair becomes the champion again. But
you know what you just reminded me of?
But
when Naomi was champion, the WWE missed a golden opportunity to market her version of the belt. That stuff could have made big money.
I seen they did make a few replicas, but it didn't become as big as as maybe like it could have been, like with all the lights and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah. It's crazy because I was showing people who don't watch wrestling that her entrance with that belt, and they're like, "Yo, they got to market this better, man." Because they were trying to watch just for Naomi.
I think that's another thing. I do believe Naomi could have been. She could have been used a lot better. She really could have been.
Well, hey, that's the oldest story in WWE. A lot of people could have got used better.
Like, and then not only that, she's a great wrestler. She's super athletic. She's actually entertaining, great performer. Like, and she's great to look at. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just go ahead and throw that out there. I'll just throw that out there.
I thought I was gonna be the guy with that kind of comment. I didn't expect that. Oh my god!
Sometimes you gotta break. Sometimes you gotta break character a little bit. But that's all Jimmy Uso. That's all Jimmy.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna let that be. But sometimes you gotta let it be known. So I got Bailey though. But let us move on. Braun Strowman versus Omos. Is that how you say it? I always forget his name.
I call him Omos. And I want to see this match. I don't really care who wins because you know what I like. Come on, dude. You know what I like. I like seeing big, meaty men slapping meat. I like my 30-minute classics, Iron Man matches. I like this. This is what I want in wrestling.
Oh, no.
If this was I had it my way, god dang it, I would have been playing Big Show versus Brock Lesnar every week on wrestling. God dang it.
Big, meaty man slapping meat. Oh, no.
Mr. Perfect versus Goldberg every week on WCW. If I had it my way.
Oh, no. If y'all haven't seen that clip, check out that clip, please, with freaking Big E in the New Day talking about that. Check that out. Man, we got to see Big E make a return. He really got to make that return, man.
Some nice fantasy booking I would have liked was the original concept for Batista when he came back in 2013, 2014. Was he was supposed to come back heel. So imagine heel Batista with a new theme song by RZA just to be full scumbag. And imagine him just attacking the New Day or attacking Big E specifically.
Batista.
Or bullying Daniel Bryan because he wasn't big enough.
That would have been interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Would have been interesting. They didn't do it, though.
No, we had to put him in Evolution with them blue tights on. Like, what were we thinking?
And then they called him Bootista.
Oh, my God.
Tough.
That's what are we doing?
Vince,
What were we doing, Vince?
man. Oh man. But I want to say this. I got Braun. I got Braun Strowman in that match. I predict Braun will win that. I kind of feel like this match has come too soon in my regards. I don't know. I feel like because both of them kind of need a win, and so it makes it a little weird.
Well, it's an attraction match, and obviously we're putting this on for a show for the Saudi Arabia crowd. And you know how a lot of them haven't really seen wrestling like that, which is why we got Shawn Michaels and Triple H in a going up against Mayor Kane and Elder Taker, which is why we got Oldberg versus Elder Taker. You know, it's an attraction match. But the thing about it is the younger guys who go out there, they really try to put on a big show. So I look forward to seeing it regardless. And to be fair, a lot of these crown jewel matches have gotten better and better and better as time gone on.
No, I think they've been putting on great shows, great events. Yeah. So I get that point. So I get that point. It makes sense. But it just seemed like they both need a little time and need a couple wins to kind of build each other up. Like Braun needs a couple wins. He just returned. Almost is still building himself up. So them facing each other, it's a little quick to me, but I got Braun. Maybe this match ends in like a disqualification or something like that. That's how they probably finish it.
They destroyed a ring. Ref over there laid out. There's like, well, we can't finish the match. Oh well. You know what I would like, right? Because a tag team like this hasn't existed for a while in the WWE.
What?
Almost. And Braun Strowman just looking at each other. They shake hands. You become tag team partners.
Black and white.
Ebony and ivory.
And they huge. So like that would be pretty dominant. I ain't gonna lie. That actually is a good idea. To me, at that point, MVP won't be needed as a manager anymore for almost. Like then he could slide back with Bobby Lashley and then, let that tag team, let Braun and Omos go on a destruction tour and just destroy everybody. And then eventually get to the Usos.
Oh yeah. What are you gonna do with those two big meaty men coming up on those small little boys? It's a wrap.
All right, we're gonna end this off with this big meaty men stuff.
Let me stop before I get taken out of context.
What about we got Alexa Bliss and Asuka, who are the new women's tag team champions, putting their titles on the line against Damage Control. Who you got?
I feel like Damage Control is gonna take this win. Because I have a deep feeling that Bray Wyatt's faction is going to be a lot bigger than we anticipated. And I believe that Alexa Bliss is going to be a key part of that team. So I'm assuming something is going to happen where there are Bray Wyatt. My prediction is like a Bray Wyatt appearance is going to happen because he's at Crown Jewel, but it's not. We don't know what he's there for.
He's being advertised, yeah.
So my prediction may be to bring back Alexa Bliss. The one that we got with Bray.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know what they're gonna do with Bray, but I feel like that would be a good idea. Bring back Alexa Bliss. But my only question it would leave, it'd be like, why did we just put the titles on Asuka and Alexa Bliss just to have them lose a couple days later? Like, yeah, that would be a little weird.
I mean, weirder things has happened. Like we gave the Miz the belt for no good reason. We let the Miz become WWE champion. We let the Miz become WWE champion twice just to lose it a couple days later. Keep it a buck, bro. Yeah. A lot of weirder things have happened in WWE.
I got Alexa Bliss and Asuka. I just don't think Triple H is going to let that happen. Maybe Vince McMahon would have let that happen, but I don't think Triple H is going to let that happen. I think he'll keep them with the belts for a little bit longer.
All right.
But I would like to see Damage Control win because I already picked Bayley, taking out Bianca Belair. So, put the belts on Damage Control and let Damage Control become this elite women's faction group with the belts. What about Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in a steel cage match?
Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross. Well, there's only one thing I want out of that match. I've echoed it last time. If Karrion Kross's partner slides in the frame, she got to go through a table. And on top of that, this should be the match where Drew McIntyre has a very aggressive and big time match.
Drew
Yeah,
McIntyre needs a win, man. So he should win this. It's a steel cage. You know, I forgot her name, but she's not. She's supposed to be blocked off from interfering in the match, pretty much. So because it's a steel cage, even though obviously she can hop over the steel cage or maybe go through the door, but
exactly.
I got Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre needs to win. He can't keep taking these L's. So I'm just hoping for a good match. Their last match, the strap match, I wasn't the biggest fan of that match. I'm not gonna lie. But I hope Drew McIntyre can pull off a W. I was a huge fan when Drew McIntyre returned. But then over time it just kinda, I don't know. It's gotten a little stale. I don't know. His character a little bit to me. So
No, I feel you, man. I feel you. But we got to see how things play out, man. Because one thing about Drew, I like Drew better when he was a heel because his character was a lot more interesting. Because when he was the babyface, he was kind of very what's the best word for it? He was very static even as a character. So I like him to be a little bit more round and do more things.
I agree with that. I think Drew McIntyre should be turned heel again. I think so. Yeah, that's probably yep. I think you solved it right there. Because it's been when he was a heel, and even when they brought him back with Dolph Ziggler, I was like, and Dolph. One of these segments, one of these podcasts, we just got to talk about Dolph Ziggler a little bit. This guy can wrestle, obviously, but he just kind of gets thrown in there to lose for the most part.
Hey.
But Drew McIntyre being heel, he actually brought back the allure with Dolph Ziggler, and it was interesting watching him. I felt like they split up that group too soon. So, yeah, I think Drew McIntyre being heel would bring back some of that. Just bring back some of the allure back with his character a little bit. So
Exactly. No, I agree, man. I agree. I think for me, the big thing about Drew McIntyre, well, for not Drew McIntyre, I was about to say Dolph Ziggler. I don't know why I got confused. They should either let Dolph go or let Dolph do stand up comedy. I don't think you've ever seen him do it, but he's actually pretty good.
no, I haven't seen it, but I have heard that he does comedy, so I'm not surprised. He's good at cutting promos, so I'm like,
Yeah.
Dolph just had. Matter of fact, we're gonna talk about that at some point, but I just feel like Dolph. I feel like his entire career, he's kind of got dogged, pretty much, like his entire wrestling career.
Oh yeah. By the way, Karrion Kross's manager, I believe her name is Scarlett.
Scarlett.
Scarlett
Yes, Scarlett.
Yeah.
But let us move on to the OC versus Judgment Day 6-man tag team match. Who you got?
Judgment Day. It's Judgment Day because I'm kind of because it's like, man, they're not gonna do a dang thing about Rhea Ripley, so she's just gonna keep getting away with murder. So it's just like, we already know how this goes. We've seen this happen with Dominic Mysterio on them. We've seen this happen. We've seen this happen again, like on Friday Night SmackDown. We know what's gonna happen. There's gonna be a match, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's gonna go Rhea Ripley. People are gonna spin the stick. She's gonna probably now slam somebody, and then that's how they get the win. So yeah, put me down. Put me down for Judgment Day.
I'm going to go with the OC. The only reason why I'm going to go with the OC is because I believe Edge makes a return for that crowd, for Crown Jewel. I think Edge makes a return and he sparks back up that rivalry with him and Finn Balor. So, and leads the OC to a win. I feel like the OC is almost going to lose. The next I think Rhea Ripley is going to do something that basically causes the OC to almost lose, and then Edge going to come out. And then, and I think that's going to be the way the OC ends up pulling out that win. I think the OC Judgment Day, they both need a win, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like you kind of got to build up AJ Styles again. So you can't keep you got to have him got to get a W at some point.
I mean, didn't he beat those boys down in NXT?
See, but like that's NXT. Like
Yeah,
I
but
remember
no.
AJ Styles was the face that was running SmackDown at one point when he came into the WWE when he beat John Cena and all that. And it's like, dang, they let that die off completely.
Well, let's be honest. The AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura experiment was a complete failure on behalf of management because they didn't give them much to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing to talk about too. Like, man. Yeah. Let us go with the last match. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. This is the last match up until today. Now, maybe Friday Night SmackDown may come and they may add some more matches, but up until this point, Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley.
Put me down for Bobby Lashley. No, matter of fact, I'm a double down on Bobby Lashley. Matter of fact, hold on. Shoot, man. I'm a double down. I'm gonna put a double dollar on there, a $2 bill. Yeah. Yeah.
A $2 bill. I used to have one of those and I gave it away.
Tragic, man. I kept all mine.
Man.
Like I said, man, Bobby needs this win. Because let's be honest, Brock wins this. What do we gain?
Brock doesn't lose 2 in a row, basically. He doesn't lose, he doesn't lose 2 in a row for the most part.
He don't. But what does it do for anybody? Brock wins, he goes home. Bobby loses, he's still here. It don't do nothing for nobody if Bobby loses.
You know what? You know what would be a good idea? Boom! I got my idea. I got my freaking idea. You have nobody win that match, and Bray Wyatt interferes and destroys both of them, and starts up a rivalry with Bobby Lashley, and Brock, heads home until he's called back for whatever.
But Bray is a babyface.
Is Bobby cheered? Bobby's kind of cheered, I guess.
Bobby is a babyface. He's been that since the Almighty character was doing the Thunder intro.
But you can easily turn Bray a heel because I don't even know if you look at Bray as a heel in that moment because he'll be destroying Brock and Bobby. So at that point, it's almost like the same thing. People are cheering Bobby Lashley and people are cheering Brock Lesnar right now. Like Brock Lesnar is actually being cheered right now. So it's like you can still do a Bray versus Bobby if they're both being cheered. I feel like eventually, I don't know if you couldn't even boo Bray at this point because like people are kind of just attracted to that character right now. So even if he does something that's technically heel work, I don't know if we really booing it.
It would be kind of hilarious, but it would make sense. Austin Theory interrupts that match. Just to get at Brock and just to get at Bobby. Because that whole little situation with Bobby was the reason we went down with the United States Championship. And then on top of that, we remember at SummerSlam, Brock kind of bodied Austin Theory.
Yeah.
So I'm just like thinking, hey man, he could be the guy to interrupt that match and make it go to a no contest.
That's another thing. I think that's how I'm gonna say. That's what my prediction is gonna be. Is that this ends in a no contest. I don't feel like you have Brock. Brock doesn't really need a win, but I don't think you have Brock take an L against Bobby. Straight up like this at a crown jewel. But I also don't feel like you should have Bobby lose. So I think it should be like they got to figure out a way to just kind of like end the match without anybody having a definite win. So in this case, Seth Rollins don't have a match so far. He's not defending his title. I don't know if that's going to be updated soon, but Seth Rollins is not on the card right now. Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, no Seth Rollins, no United States title being put on the line as of now.
Seriously?
Yeah, as
That
of
don't
now.
feel right. That don't feel right. I'm about to go check. I'm about to go to rewatch Raw and SmackDown just to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Yeah, as of right now, he's just not on the card. But I mean, he can always be added in really quick. But I'm just, yeah.
You know what I would do, just because of the fact I like the idea. I would like Mustafa Ali to go up against. I would like to see Mustafa Ali go up against Seth Rollins due to the fact Mustafa Ali is a great wrestler and a great performer, and I'm pretty sure those two can tear it up in the ring.
I was expecting that to be the match. Maybe it ends up. Maybe WWE announces that soon. But yeah. As of now, he's not on the card.
Yeah.
So maybe Seth Rollins. Maybe you have Seth Rollins come out and just like ends the match for Bobby and Brock, and just cause he's not on the card, and he's just like, forget this. I'm supposed to be here.
That's a good idea too. Very good idea.
And then Brock can dip out, and then Bobby and Seth Rollins get back into a rivalry. Many different ways.
Yeah. No, I feel you. That just kind of makes it sound kind of aimless because you like. Because I would rather the Brock interruption happen at Crown Jewel, if anything else. But we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Let us know what y'all think, people. Let us know of all these different matches. Let us know your predictions as well.